Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our Mastering Maize and Blue podcast series, the series dedicated for freshmen and other incoming students to get acclimated to our resources on campus without actually having to be on campus. I'm your only host today, Roman Bruno, and today we'll be speaking to our student government president, who I'm very excited to speak with today. But a little bit about myself, majoring in communications with a PR certificate. I'm also minoring in psychology. I'm also a sports writer for the Michigan Journal, a peer mentor for the Wolverine Mentor Collective, and a facilitator for Cruise, which is a great program as well. But now I'm very excited to introduce our guest, Student Government President Ramsey. I'll give you a minute to introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ramsey Fakhouri. I am the student body president here at the University of Michigan-Dearborn. I am a major in information systems management, which is through the College of Business. Just graduated with my bachelor's and am pursuing grad school here at UMD. So excited to be here, excited to be a part of this call. Professionally, I run a nonprofit foundation called Second Chance Nation, Inc. I'm a warranty engineer for Vitro Automotive Glass, and I am a barber on Saturdays and love it. So busy and recently got married. So excited to be here and excited to tell you about student government.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you on. That's one thing I learned about you during this process of getting you on here is that you are a very, very busy person, but you do a lot of good, productive work for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
But we'll hop into our first question here. What is your favorite part about U of M Dearborn?
So my favorite part about UM-Dearborn is the culture. It's what we have to offer. The first step I took on campus, I looked around and said, wow, I'm really here. And it's the same feeling that many of our students get when they walk on campus. Wow, I'm really here. And it's that culture of, hey, we're in this academic setting, we're trying to be better, and we're going to do it together. That is my favorite part. Walking into the university center, seeing all of our students, people from different races, different colors, different backgrounds, different cities, coming together for a common purpose to learn, to educate, and to make the world a better place ultimately is definitely my favorite part about UM-Dearborn.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's the community that makes up what we are, what the campus is, what we have to offer. And when you see all of it in action in terms of collaborating, educating each other, exploring diversity and cultural differences and similarities as well, it makes for a great campus life, as you mentioned. But that pretty much leads into my second question as well. How would you describe campus and then the community itself?
So being from, I've gone to Wayne State there for a little while for a semester, trying to see what some of these other universities were like. But our campus is uniquely positioned in the community of Dearborn, where it caters to a lot of different people in multiple cities. Plus, we're a commuter campus in a sense. So a lot of people are coming there. And again, you're going to see a lot of our community of students from different walks of life, young and old. I think University of Michigan-Dearborn has a lot of what they call non-traditional students. I might fall in that category where you may be a freshman, but not a traditional freshman coming straight out of high school. We have a lot of transfer students from community colleges. So the community we have is a representation, and it's actually a greater representation than most campuses because we have such an age gap. We have such a career gap, if you will, from starters to people that have been in a career for 7 years that are just now kind of pursuing a degree. And our campus uniquely caters to each one of those. Whatever category you find yourself in, our campus has something to offer you. As a matter of fact, our student services has services that other campuses don't have, not even Ann Arbor nor Flint. And so we're on the cutting edge of that. One of them being even legal services as we relate it to the community. We have a predominantly Middle Eastern community, and our student legal services now offers immigration services that you will not find at Ann Arbor. You'll not find it at Flint, nor at Wayne State, nor at Oakland University. So our campus and our administration does a really good job to tailor to our needs, to cater to our campus. So if I were to describe it in one word, advanced, and we're getting there.
That's really great to hear. And I guess talk about diversity, as you mentioned. I think when most people would think about diversity, they think just race, gender, socioeconomic background, but age is also a big factor, like you mentioned, because you don't really necessarily understand why that might be if you're an incoming freshman out of high school, but you see it and you experience it, but you come around to enjoy it and embrace it for what it is. And students can be of any age, whether traditional or non-traditional, like you mentioned. So I'm glad that you brought that point up for us.
Thank you.
So getting into some of your own responsibilities as president, what are those? Could you explain?
So I am the main liaison between students and our administration and faculty. I'm responsible for carrying the voice of the people, the voice of the students, and actively seeking to represent or provide opportunities that benefit the student body as a whole. I hold personal meetings, town hall meetings, think tank sessions, student government meetings. I assist in campaigns that partner with our faculty and administration, and I just ensure that things are being done the right way and that our students are represented fairly, honestly, and consistently, that no decision that has an impact on students, I make sure that it comes through our student government.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you obviously do a lot for us on campus, but so does your team, and then you being the bridge, the gap between administration and the student body. Definitely definitely needed on campus. I think you've done a good job of that in, I guess, short span amount of time. I guess it's not been we haven't gotten to the school year yet, but you've done a lot of work so far, so it's good to see. But I guess even circling back to while the elections were starting, this is pretty much from a little my perspective. This is kind of the first student elections that I've been paying attention to. When I was finishing my year as a sophomore, kind of seeing who was running, what their platforms were, and obviously you were pretty much at the top there for many students out there. I could see your passion, your support behind you. But I'm interested to know what made you decide to run for student government president in the first place.
That's a great question. And I also want to echo your previous point that I have an incredible team of senators and directors, of students who want to make a change and want to make a difference. When I came to campus, I initially came to campus with the idea of, hey, I'm just here. I'm going to go and graduate, and I'm just going to, kind of do my own thing. I wasn't going to really get involved. I was involved in Phi Theta Kappa at a community college. I was vice president over there, but I never really had student government experience. But I knew that my passion has always been and remains people. I love people. I love being a part of things and being the bridge that connects people to something greater. And so I saw student government elections and I was like, I don't know if that's for me. My friend said, hey, you should really do it. I think you'd be great. And so I said, hey, you know what? If I do it, I'm going to do it not because I care about my name, not because it's a resume builder, but simply because I love people and want to make a change on campus. So with that passion, not having any student government experience at all, going there with simply ideas and a passion to make a change is what I brought to the table. And that's ultimately what made me decide to run for student government president.
Yeah, and maybe you could attest to this too, but I'm sure it took also some level of getting out of your comfort zone, like you mentioned. You didn't think you were gonna do it, but then you had to get convinced a little bit. You reflected upon it, and then you kind of made that decision to go about it. And it seemed like it took some reflection and some getting outside your comfort zone there.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a friend of mine, he was prodding me a little bit. And I just kept thinking, okay, well, if I don't have the experience, you kind of run through it in your mind. Everybody sits and kind of weighs the cost. I'm running against people who may have student government experience, who then confirmed, hey, they were in student government previously. So I was like, I don't know. And it took a lot of self-reflection. And I simply said, you know what? There's no harm in trying. I'm already at no. I'm already not there. What's the harm in trying? Let's just go ahead and do it. And slowly but surely, I started to get a better gauge on our students. And the more I talked with other students and what they wanted to see in student government, that fueled my passion. That said, you know what? Yes, this is what I want. And I'm going to do it with my whole heart. And I jumped right in.
Yeah, I can honestly find some similarities between that and myself. I mean, just becoming orientation program assistant on my end, that's kind of why I wanted to be in that role to help the students, specifically incoming students, kind of get them get them one foot in the door, kind of get them in here as comfortable as possible, and kind of showing them what campus has to offer, which you have also done with incoming and even current students who even could be upperclassmen as well, just providing some perspective to students who haven't had it or haven't maybe looked for it just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I will tell you that I come from a background. I graduated from the Troy School District, Troy Athens. I can bring a different perspective to students because I was there and didn't know what I wanted to do. That's why I went to a couple different campuses, even went to barber school, tried out, a different career. So when I bring a different perspective to the table for our students, incoming freshmen, upperclassmen, to say, hey, let's really talk about this. Let's really roadmap where you're going. Is this what you want? If it is, this is how we can tailor your plan to get you there. If it's not, let's really weigh what you do want. And having that life experience, be it the hard way, be it, the long way, I just provide some sort of insight as to where most of the paths lead.
Awesome. That's good to hear. So going into our next question, what was your favorite part, or what is your favorite part about being in your new role as of now?
Well, and I love the picture. I love that picture. A lot of it is representing our student body, our activism. So this picture specifically was but a couple of months ago, not even a couple of months ago. This was the Fund Our Future rally. And what it is those four people you see there, plus our vice president, Nasiha Jaz, we're fighting to get additional funding for our campus. And we partnered with Flint and we partnered with Ann Arbor. And because we went to Ann Arbor and we had a rally, we spoke at the rally, we were able to convince, or at least kind of prod, our Board of Regents to make that additional investment into Dearborn, into Flint, and that both Dearborn and Flint separately each got $10 million additional. What does that mean for our students? It means better technology. It means more opportunities for student success. However it comes, even, and I know this is what we're gearing towards, even the simple things is getting Grammarly Premium for all of our students. That's what we're working for right now. And part of that money that we gain from the Board of Regents is going to pay for that Grammarly Premium for our students. So extremely excited. I love the part in my new role of hearing ideas and seeing those ideas to fruition. A lot of times we like to start things and we don't like to finish them, but I love the fact that, hey, we have a team. The team is here. Most of them are volunteers. They're not here, to get $1,000 every day or every week or every month. They're here because they care about students and they want to see a change. So working in that atmosphere, working with the creative ideas is definitely my favorite part of the new role.
I think it just goes back to what you said earlier about you have to at least try. I mean, you're not going to know until you find out. So I guess that's kind of what back to this rally too. Just you might as well try it and see what happens, and it ended up proving very successful for us and Flint as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's really in our student government meetings, there's no such thing as a bad idea. And so I'm grateful to be at the part where, now I'm a little bit older, so I'm not really, what's the right word of saying it? I'm not on both ends of the spectrum emotionally. Like, I feel like I'm pretty logical. I can keep a pretty even keel. So I know that even when some ideas may be a little bit off, we can find a way to tailor it to bring it in to help all people. So you and the freshman class are going to be the first to know about this, but we are going to have a women's self-defense course coming to our campus, just as another way to say, hey, our student body wanted this, and now we're seeing it to fruition. It's just slowly but surely seeing the smiles on students' faces while we continue to add things that benefit them.
Yeah, I'll just say that it's been the common answer for a lot of our guests to say on this series that their favorite part is seeing students have an idea or having an idea and then putting it all the way to fruition, like you mentioned. Seeing the process that goes along with that from beginning to end, where it starts just out as an idea and now it's a full-fledged program, idea, event. That's also very inspiring as well, across all levels of whatever it may revolve around. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So our next question, kind of relating to a little bit of what you mentioned earlier, but what are some other issues or topics you'd like to tackle as president going into this semester?
That's a great question. So we have a lot of things that we're really working on as a student body. A lot of them are geared towards diversity and inclusion, really bringing everybody to the table. We want everybody at the table. We want everybody to have a voice and feel like they have a voice. Hey, student government, we really want to see that you're accessible. So what we're doing now is we're making town hall meetings that all students can attend, either in person or virtually, to really state, where they're at, what they're looking for, what they're requesting, and for us as a student government to really go and start advocating on behalf of those ideas. We're trying to find accessible tutoring programs through Zoom. Now, most of our students don't really know what our campus has to offer. Our campus offers an immense amount of resources to help our students out. And so our goal is to really educate our students to say, hey, you know what? There's more things that you have. There's a writing center. There's a math center you can go to and get help from. So that's another key issue that I want to tackle, is just really showing the resources that our students have. We are partnering with the provost and the Office of Student Life to create a Think Twice campaign. Academic integrity is something that plagued a lot of our students since COVID happened. So we want to advocate, and as part of that, to show the resources that you have to be successful, but also the consequences of academic integrity. It's just not worth it. That's one of the things that we want to tackle as well. We want to look at a Wolverine Wellness Fund that assists students financially, both for COVID and non-COVID reasons. We're working together with other student governments in the University of Michigan system, as well as those across our state of Michigan. We're trying to create study bags for students at midterms and finals. Just hey, here you go. Here's a little care package, a little pep for you while you get ready to study. And then, of course, right now, there's two key things: is getting Grammarly Premium for all of our students and having a very safe return to campus, a very safe return to campus for COVID, and then just having a great fall welcome.
Absolutely. I like what you mentioned, though, about kind of getting students in the know of what's resources on campus, even freshmen or current students. That's kind of what our main job is as orientation leaders, is help those students get acclimated, inform them of everything we have to offer. Hence why we're also doing this podcast series. So between this and orientations and your work, hopefully we get more students involved on campus and not just going to school for classes and leaving right after. So that's definitely a big difference that we can make.
You're doing a great job. You and your team are doing a great job of it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Our next question here, more geared towards the students incoming that we specialize with. How are you going to connect with them specifically, who maybe don't know you as they're coming into the school year?
So how I'm going to connect to students, incoming students, I am an extrovert times 1,000. You're going to see me in the university center connecting with students. You're going to see me in the library, around the bookstore, along the walkway, and making it a point to actively go to each of our college buildings. So I'm going to make it a point for not only myself, but our vice president and our senators to get out there and to really meet people, to communicate with people, and to connect with people. I believe in that face-to-face connection, be it in person, be it on Zoom, be it on FaceTime, or even through a text message. So I believe that ensuring that our students know, or making our students aware that we are accessible, is going to really help us connect. And again, I just want to be out there, be with our student body, because you never want to be the guy in the ivory tower that has no idea what our students are going through. And so on another personal level, I can say that I'll connect with our students coming from varying backgrounds, being an automotive, being a transfer student, coming from a community college, being a first generation student. Many of our student government members and our senators, as well as our executive board, all come from different walks of life. And if I may not be the best one to connect with you on that personal level, someone in our student government can. and we're here for you, and we're here to grow with you. So I believe that's how we're going to connect.
That's awesome. I think in a general sense too, we have so many perspectives on campus where, and even in terms of academic resources as well, if that's not in your specialization, we have someone who can help you, or if you're looking for this, we can connect you to that. So I appreciate your answer. I think a lot of freshmen are gonna benefit from those conversations with you and your team and student government, whether they volunteer for student government or they're just regular freshmen in the UC or something like that. So that's definitely, it's good to hear that for sure. But going into our next question, are there any events or plans in the immediate future that you look to push for? I know you kind of mentioned quite a lot that might fit into this answer as well, but is there anything else that you might want to add?
Yeah, so fall welcome is going to be huge for us. The Go Blue Bash is going to be another key one for us. So the one thing that I really want to say is that when you come to campus, jump in. Just jump in. Just take an opportunity, take a leap of faith, say hi to someone that you have no idea who they are. If it's a club that you're like, I don't know if I'm interested, just walk up and say, hey, worst case scenario, you're going to get a free pen or something free out of it. I'm sure even food, like who doesn't want that, right? So the biggest thing that I can just advocate for in the events is really all of our orgs coming together, all of our students coming together for fall welcome. If you're a virtual student, jump into the virtual events. The worst case, you end up saying, hey, I don't know if I like this, but I did like, this org, I might be able to be a part of that. When you jump in, you feel like you're a part of the whole. You feel like you're a part of our campus, a part of our student body, and you really start to assume your identity. And what greater thing than while you're continuing to grow in your academic career than to network with friends around you, even if you're introverted. Even if you make one friend out of the whole fall welcome or one of the events that you jump into, one friend is worth it. One friend in your class is worth it. So while I might have other events, that is the most pressing to me. Fall welcome, jump in, get involved.
And while it's definitely a talking point for sure about virtual, in person, I don't want any students to get confused. Student life, student orgs, academic resources, they're still going to continue on virtual. That's not going anywhere. But it will be returning in person for those people who are going back, just so they can cater to both. So similar to how you mentioned, student life, student orgs, they will be continuing to do events online. So that's not going anywhere. So feel free to jump in, join an org or a student event, just to get the experience, just to have a feel of what the campus is about. I mean, this whole episode has been pretty much about the students, the student life, and you don't experience that until you go to one of these events or go make a friend or do certain stuff on campus. So I appreciate that answer for sure.
Join student government too. I mean, that'd be great. Join us.
And that's pretty much leading into my next question. How can students get involved with student government, Ramsey?
So students can get involved in student government a couple of different ways. So you can go to Victor's link, express interest. You want to join student government, you click a button on Victor's link. We're going to get an email and we'll reach out to you. Another way to get involved is our Zoom link is public on Victor's link. We have our meetings every Tuesday. You could jump right into the meeting at 5 p.m. You could jump right into the meeting, be a part. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. You can just sit back and listen and say, hey, I just want to see what you guys are about. There is an opportunity for guest speakers. So if you wanted to say, hi, my name is Joe, or my name is Sally, I just wanted to say, hey, you could do that. That's no problem. And it's at your part. It's very informal. You can just communicate. Or you could reach out to myself, Nisi Hajaz, or anybody in student government. They will point you in the right direction. Even if you tell the faculty or a professor, hey, I'm really thinking about joining student government. Our campus is a helpful campus, and one that is willing to go the extra mile to help you. If you don't connect with myself or any of our student government members, you don't make it to Victor's link, but you just tell a professor, they're going to point you in the right direction. Or even Roman himself, Mr. Bruno, he'll point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. I think it'd also be a good time to mention the different roles, I guess, in student government for those who are interested. So could you explain potentially what a fellow is, what a senator is, some committee chair roles. So kind of give students a perspective of what makes up student government too.
Sure. I'll give you a very broad overview, pretty easy to digest. You have a president and a vice president and a secretary. That's your executive board. And it's similar to how you would think of a normal president would act. They're kind of doing the face of it, trying to work with our administration. The vice president is also there. It's kind of the face of our student body, taking care of a lot of the other roles and ensuring that things are being done. Secretary is taking attendance, really filling out a lot of the emails, doing stuff like that, but is an active member. One of the most vital members that we have is a secretary. Then we have all of our senators who represent the student body in various capacities. Every senator has something to offer the table, but it's simply similar to our democracy here, is that the senators can vote to approve something. I might like something that the senators don't like, and they could vote to veto that or vice versa. But the senators really bring motions to the table and they vote on that. I can't vote on them. I can maybe bring something up, but it's the senators who really are the feet for our students. They're really the ones that are actively engaging our students, actively saying, hey, we're going to put together a motion. Motions are written by our senators and or a committee. Basically, we just passed another one. One of them was the Fund Our Future that we spoke about earlier. Another one was having the pass-fail option for summer 2. That was another one that was just recently passed. It was actually for summer 1 and summer 2. A fellow is someone who's just coming in. They can't really vote, but they're a part of student government, but they're not a full senator yet. You go to a certain amount of meetings, then the senators vote you in, and you come in from there. So that's just a very broad overview. There's our Constitution and our bylaws are actually available on Victor's link and on our campus website, where you can see an in-depth analysis of what each person covers. It's not as intimidating as it looks, I promise. It's really not that hard. And plus it's very, very rewarding in the end.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely check out Victor's link if any of you are watching are interested in student government or even just other organizations, because Victor's link has everything and every contact information you might need for any of our student orgs. But student government, definitely a great option. Their office is currently in the UC, correct?
Currently in the UC, we took over the old Michigan Journal building. I want to say room 204, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome. So that's good to know for any students going in person, but also obviously they have virtual going on as well. So definitely check it out if you're interested, but I'm glad we got all that settled as well. But coming into one of our final questions, we've been giving advice pretty much all of this episode, but what advice would you give to a new UM-Dearborn student?
This is a great question, and one that I don't take lightly. Coming from, a lot of people have opinions on certain things, but I can tell you, I can boil it all down to this. The decisions you make today become the reality you live tomorrow. Simply put, whatever you decide to do today will pay dividends in the future. If you decide, I just want to go to campus and just work at it, that's going to be the dividend in the future. If you decide, I want to come to campus and I really want to get involved, think of the dividend you're going to get in the future. Yes, I'm a College of Business student, but that's applicable across the board. If you want a better tomorrow, it starts today. Academically, professionally, socially, no matter what it is. And you'll never, you'll miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You might as well just jump in, just try it out and see where it leads. I'm encouraged with the new student body that's coming in, freshmen, sophomore, people that have yet to be on campus. I'm excited. Just remember, the decisions you make today become the reality you live tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with the college experience in general. I mean, you get out what you put into it. So depending on how seriously or loosely you want to take it, yeah, you have to make most of the tuition you pay for too. So definitely try certain things like we've been saying. Make the most of your experience. Don't just don't go to campus and leave. Stay a while, do certain events, be a part of student orgs, and build upon your career and the skills you'll use in the future. So I'm glad that we talked about all of that spectrum of advice. So So now a more lighthearted question. Are there any fun facts about you, Ramsey?
Yes. So recently just got married. June 26th, got married to my high school sweetheart. Forever. Like we went our separate ways, got married. I do run a nonprofit, as I was saying, called Second Chance Nation, helping people go from setback to comeback. So I love running that. I started as a warranty engineer, been in automotive for just a little while. Love that. I have an 8-year-old sister. There's a little picture of my little sister there right next to my desk. But yeah, I love sports, love hanging out, love being a part of the community. Another fun fact, I am 6'3", even though I don't look like it in the camera, right? Another fun fact, I could dunk a basketball. I could do it. Even right now. I know it doesn't look like it, but I could do it. So I'm sure
Nice.
if I sit down and think, I can think of quite a few fun facts.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's definitely going to be exciting to have a personality like yourself on campus. Very lighthearted, but also very passionate and serious at times. So the campus and the community is definitely going to benefit from a person like yourself. So thank you for making a part of it, of what you are.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for this opportunity to speak to the incoming class.
Of course.
I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to represent you. I'm honored to just be a part of this whole thing that we have going. We have a great university and we're going to the next level.
Absolutely.
Go blue.
Go blue. Yes. And here we have some contact information. So Ramsey's email is right here. If you want to get in touch with student government, there's their email as well. But like we mentioned, you can also see their bylaws and documents and stuff on Victor's link. So check that out if you're interested. I also put in their Instagram, so you can follow them on Instagram to see some cool stuff and updates along the way as we head into the school year, which is coming up pretty shortly from this episode being recorded. But also, if you're interested in the Mastering Maize and Blue series, if you enjoyed this episode, we've had plenty of episodes posted so far, so you can check out that episode or check out that link on the slide. We also post all our episodes on the UM-Dearborn YouTube channel, so those go out pretty consistently. We've done quite a few so far. We still have a few more left to go to post our whole season before the school year starts. But other than that, Ramsey, I'm going to thank you again for joining us today. It's been a long time coming getting you on here, but it's been worth the wait for sure. And I hope you enjoyed your time here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go blue.
Go blue. Go blue. Have a great semester. Have a great start. I look forward to seeing you at fall welcome.
Absolutely. We'll see you then.